from the grower, to the dispensary, to the person that's doing the trimming, and all these different jobs that are being created by the cannabis economy, which are not being shown because they don't want everybody to know that you don't have to go to work. All you got to do is sell some pot and you don't have to work again. That's alluring. But they don't want people not going into the
But that's not the truth. Selling pot in America is hard.
No, it's hard. No,
that's a hard job.
It's a hard job because it was made hard by arcane laws. It's made hard by racist institutions that are trying to determine an outcome by pushing legalization or pushing legal laws that are overly addressing and overly access brown and black people. As long as that's the case, because in every state in America should be sued.
Well, yeah, of course.
They should be sued for
the same black men, people of color have been disproportionately targeted in the war on drugs.
And so that's a problem. And
that is a problem.
This is why and it goes back into compliance. When you start in a business, so now you got to find your best white friend to go apply for a cannabis license, because just like trying to get a liquor license, if you're brown trying to get a liquor license in downtown Minneapolis, good luck. I mean, it takes. But
it's always different in the heartland of America. Like on the coast, that's not a thing.
But not everybody live on the coast.
Not everybody live on the coast, and most people probably do live in the middle of America.
But even if you're on the coast and you get a liquor license, when you're brown, you get double the scrutiny. Even if you got one fight at your club can shut your club down. The white club, they can shoot it up.
There's a few clubs from LA, there's a few clubs. Hell, you get a few dead celebrities. The Viper Room still didn't close. And a couple people died outside of that and in it.
That's a brown place?
No.
Okay, then that's my point.
Of course. I'm agreeing with your point.
I'm
agreeing with your point.
Yeah, so they're not going to close it down. But let a black strip club have one, Tinguan in there, boy, it's done. So my thing is, and I'm not trying to promote, prostitution and all these other things over here, because stripping isn't prostitution. For those, don't send me any letters.
Stripping is not prostitution, but even prostitution, we give sex workers a bad rap, but we don't give the people who utilize their services a bad rap.
Yes, we do. If they're poor and in the inner city and they're trying to get a prostitute on the street.
Oh yeah, but those aren't the people. But those aren't the same people that you catch in.
This isn't the powerful pedophile rings, if you will, or the powerful human.
The Pizzagate that does not exist.
These are the things that
This ain't no Pizzagate.
Are economies that are being blamed on pot, which pot only ends up supporting it as a byproduct. Because other people have got tired of trying to sell cocaine. They're tired of trying to sell these other things. So they're like, I can go into a legal business. So they're moving to California. They're moving to legal states. What's going to happen in America for the cannabis entrepreneur, for the ganjapreneurs, for all those people that are trying to get in the business?
They're going to choke to death.
If they don't choke to death like my co-host here, then what's going to happen? We're going to start seeing people start to migrate to states and jurisdictions that are more supportive of the industry, and they're going to get flooded out like the inner city. So it's going to shift the dynamics of voting blocks. They're going to move out west. You're going to have a stronger blue population out west, because most people that support cannabis rights tend to be in the blue column of politics. But at the same time, you have red states that love tax money, and they don't care where it's coming from. Politicians don't care where tax money comes from. So eventually that's going to take over, because it's much more profitable to sell you pot legally than arrest you.
And for me, I don't even really I'm on the creative end of that part of the industry. Because for me, I'm a marketer. I run a retail store. I do podcasts. I do shows. I do things on that end of it. And I've noticed even just it as a lifestyle has created a whole lifestyle brand. It's creating lifestyle brands. It's creating lifestyle stars. The marijuana economy is making whole new different types of Martha Stewarts. Like the girl next door that smokes weed and makes you cupcakes.
But Martha Stewarts are all white.
Well now the dynamic is changing though.
But now again, I'm not coming down on white people, because it's not about really a color thing, but it is about a color thing when it comes to the acceptance of people when it comes to pot. Because even myself, I got really long dreadlocks. I'm sure you can't see them, but you know, the thing is, when I'm in public, people just assume that I'm from Jamaica. They assume that I have pot. They assume that I smoke weed. And I do. But it's not fair to assume.
Sorry that, y'all. That was hilarious.
So, you know, we're dealing with a stereotypical kind of thing that's been carried over. So what our goal is to open up doors so that, and so people can understand the compliance issues. They can understand that, hey, this thing has a lot of different moving parts. But if we're going to take advantage of the laws as they exist today on a state basis, because the federal government still has it classified as a Schedule I drug, which is ridiculous. You take the hardest drugs and have them Schedule II and III. Heroin and opioids should not be less harmful than marijuana. That is ridiculous. I've never, ever seen a person overdose on pot. I mean, they might eat too much, which is stupid, but hey, they're not going to die. You can pump their stomach. You got to kind of pump out no opioids. You need a Neurocan, whatever that thing is. I don't know, because I don't use heroin, because I'm not stupid. Sorry, guys. You can send me a letter on that. I'm not stupid. I will not use, ever. I don't use any of that garbage.
You know what? A lot of people that, not me personally, but a lot of people that you would never think of got caught in that game. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, a lot of people that you would never think of got caught in the heroin use game. But it happens. They've been selling it to children out in the suburbs. They've been selling it to...
But see, you got to understand, I deal with constant, consistent pain. I'm in pain right now while I'm talking to you. So the thing is, if you gave me if I took opioids like I'm able to sustain taking cannabis, I would be dead if I had to take as much opioid to keep the pain away.
I mean, we're still dealing at a point in the entrepreneurial game, in the canna entrepreneur game, the ganjapreneur, if you will.
Well, that's the solution. Cannabis entrepreneurs can take care of the patients that actually can use cannabis, and people are starting to migrate to medical areas where they can get the type of cannabis care that they need. People who left Minnesota went to California and Colorado because they were tired of Minnesota's arcane laws. Yes. Minnesota changed their law, but they were still arcane. They're still redundantly ridiculous with the law. So basically, they're so strict because they're trying to be so responsible that they're irresponsible. And that is the caveat to cannabis businesses. They have to really be delicate and flexible and nimble to navigate all the different legal challenges and changes depending on what time, what weather bane is blowing back.
Because if I sell you something from my site, and for instance, you can actually legally right now in the United States of America ship 0.06% cannabis through the mail. Anything higher than that, then you find yourself in this strange legal purgatory.
Yep.
Where if you get caught, it becomes a big problem for you if you go over 0.6% THC.
And that's the problem. I mean, because
that is a problem, and it's done on purpose. Like 0.06% of something. That's all you can send through it and still label it cannabis.
Charlotte's Web.
Okay.
Or some of those types of strains that are really low THC, really high CBD, which, and that makes sense, because it's still a federal problem. So, I mean, it's a way to give some people protection, but a very limited amount. And this is exactly what my point is. The problem that we have with the cannabis industry is that the legal side are taking such baby steps while the economic side and the creative side is just going gangbusters. So people aren't waiting for the legals to catch up. They're like, look, you made it legal enough for me to do what I have to do. I'm just going to do it. I'll get in compliance later. And that's a problem because that hurts the rest of the industry down the road if there's a crackdown. If there's never a crackdown, which is really hard in America, this is America, we like crack, bruh.
Wow.
But it's just how it goes. So once we get ourselves to understand that, if everybody has a consistent plan to incorporate good business principles into the cannabis industry, most of them are responsible. It drives down teen use and not raises it.
Well, that's what we're here for.
And this is the thing.
That's what our show is about.
We're not here to expose. We're here to expose you to truth as I see it and truth that you can challenge. Because they say about their truth, there's no such thing as your truth. It's all truth or it's not truth.